Hi, my name's Amanda Easton. I'm a performer, singer-songwriter from Sydney, Australia. I make retro-inspired theatrical electronic pop. But when I'm not doing my own music, I do
cabaret,
cover band gigs, solo gigs, tribute shows, recording sessions. Welcome to my Circle of Light vlog.
And I'll be watching you from here.
Hi there, how are you? This is my weekly check-in to see how you're going, and it's my weekly video diaries as well. I hope you're doing okay. If you're not in Australia, you might not know how we're doing over here, and we're doing surprisingly well, which kind of worries me because I think we might be getting a bit complacent, and the government's talking about easing restrictions, which obviously is great news for business and for our sanity. But I do worry that, there's going to be a spike again, because that's what happened in a lot of other countries that have been experiencing this before us. So we're staying in lockdown. My family and a lot of people I know are staying in lockdown whatever happens. And a very exciting news today. Phil, how are you? Good morning. Well, it's good evening here, but good morning to you. Very exciting piece of news today. I got in the car and I drove around the block. Woo! That's the furthest I've been in more than a month. Can you believe it? I actually have gone as far as the mailbox at the front of our house and to the backyard. And today I thought, better give the car a run just in case, because it's just been sitting outside the house for a month. So it was really weird sensation. I kind of felt naughty and wonderful at the same time. I like the outside world, and it was a beautiful sunny day. There was not a person in sight, but the sun was in the sky, and literally drove around the block, got out of the car, went straight back into the house. Very weird, I know. I hope it's looking good in your country like it is here now. And I hope you're personally doing well as well. Hi Dan, how are you? I hope your gran is doing okay. I was so sorry to hear that, but it's very nice to see you here. And I've decided that, we're all being told what to do and what not to do more than ever, it feels like. So, you can't go and have a party. You can't eat as much pasta as you want because it's not in the supermarkets. So I've decided, well, I haven't really decided, but it just feels like I want to say yes to more things than ever. Hi, Jid, how are you? Nice to see you. There's such big problems in the world that any little obstructions that I might give myself, I won't do something because I'm too embarrassed, or what will people think if I do that? All those kind of things seem to have gone out the window to a certain extent, because the problems of the world are so much more significant than any of my little insecurities. And so because of that, I've just been diving headfirst into all these projects that I might not normally do, partly because, I get busy actually earning money and doing work and all that kind of thing, partly because I think, I'm not good enough for that, or whatever reason, and those kind of obstructions seem to have disappeared. And I think that's a positive thing. When there's a kind of a big tragedy or a big thing in your life, then the other things that you used to put so much stake in become a lot less important, and that's what's happened partly to my insecurities, I guess. And so there's been a lot of different projects that I've been working on. They haven't most of them haven't gone public yet. But Pete, hi, how are you? One day at a time, absolutely. That's so become my thing lately. Just take one step at a time. You have no idea what's around the corner anyway. But some of the projects that I'm working on, I'm doing an a cappella video with Liza Olbach and Joe Elms, that some of you know. Jeet, I'm sure you know those guys, with the First Ladies of Soul. So we're doing some a cappella songs and, do that split video screen where you'll see us all working together, even though we've done our parts separately. Flavio, how are you? And I'm also doing a duet with another singer that I've never worked with before, and I just thought, why don't I just ask him if he wants to do a duet with me? So I won't say his name yet, because we'll wait and see how that project happens. He might change his mind. And I'm going to do some duo stuff with the guitarist that happens to live in my house, so that's very handy. And I'm doing a lot of a cappella stuff, which you might have already seen. I did a version of my song Stolen, which is obviously not usually. Hi, Annalisa. Steve, how are you? Which is not normally an a cappella song, but it's been really fun just layering up harmonies and turning it into something else. Mark, how are you? How's the UK going? I hope you guys are doing okay. And one thing that I did last week, Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics fame had a song competition going where he created a piece of music and said, anybody that wants to, you know, rap to it, write a melody and lyric to it, go ahead. And it's a competition for £5,000 and a deal to actually release the song. But honestly, I have no expectations of winning, and for me, I don't normally do those things because I'm so busy with my work and my own music, and I think, what chance have I got anyway? And I still think, what chance have I got anyway? But I want to participate in things more than ever. I feel like I can't work for money at the moment, but I can work for satisfaction and for, you know, improving myself and for fun, and that's my society now since I don't get to be social. Annalisa? I can't say, but it's not even close to a mullet. I got on Facebook earlier today and said, it's official, I've got a mullet. And you know what? I've just styled it to cover it. It actually really is. If I stood side on and just let it all go, it's totally an 80s mullet. So forgive me. I was supposed to have a haircut before I went into isolation, and now it's been a month, even longer. That's right, Jeet. You don't win if you don't enter. And it's something my mum always said. You've got to, what's the saying? You've got to try it. Oh, anyway, you know what I mean. You've got to try it, otherwise you've got no chance. So yeah, there are a lot of exciting things coming up. The Dave Stewart competition's already, that's been submitted, and I guess I'll wait to hear or not really hear, but you know, it's done, and I feel really good about that. And it's really funny because people have been so kind. They know that I'm one of many other creatives that haven't got any work, so I haven't got any income. And I've been being offered different kind of jobs, but they're not jobs to do with my career and my passion and my work. Obviously, people can't really offer me that. Having said that, I've got a couple of musical projects that may earn me a little bit of money, but, you know, other kinds of jobs. And I'm really thankful that people are thinking of me, and it's really kind, but I can't do something else. I can't. I don't intend to live on government subsidies forever, don't get me wrong. There may come a time where I have to reconsider what I'm going to do for an income, but I feel like I've never, you know, been on the dole and taken the government subsidies before. Good morning, James. How are you? And I figure I've worked so hard to become a singer and so hard to do the career I want to do. I'm not just going to click my fingers and go, yeah, I'm just going to do that now and forget all about it. I feel like this is an opportunity that I can still, you know, improve my skills and work on shows that will come out after all this is done. And there's a lot of work I feel like I can do even if I'm not directly getting paid for it right now. But yeah, speaking of the a cappella work that I'm doing with the First Ladies of Soul, which, you know, you should see come out soon. It's really interesting. Liza Rollback, some of you, Jeet, I know you'll know her, and some other people might know her, particularly in the blues scene. Amazing singer. And we were both saying, when we were doing the a cappella work, what we do basically is set up our phone as a video and literally sing, and we've got the track in our ear so that we can hear what we're singing along to, but there's no microphones and no, you know, proper audio setup. And for singers that, you know, we do 4 or 5 gigs a week usually, with sound systems and bands and all that kind of stuff, and basically when you sing, hi John, nice to see you, when you sing in bands, even if you are doing a smaller solo thing, which I do way less of, I mostly do bands, you're always amplified. And pretty much when you do pop and rock and the kind of music that I do, it's always amplified. You don't just sing acoustically without any microphones or anything else. And you don't realise, because that's what you always do. Because even in rehearsal, we go to a rehearsal studio and we set up as if we were at a live gig. So we have all the PA, the sound system and everything there. So we almost never just sing like this. Even when I'm practicing at home, I might sing really softly, but I'll kind of save my voice for, you know, I'll go through things in my head, but it's softly. And the technique changes really dramatically when you don't have that. So even when I'm recording my own songs, which I do in this room that you're looking at right now, that's a very different technique again too. The microphones are different for one, and they pick up absolutely everything, and you're not singing over a hugely loud band, which is what I mostly do. And so you sing a lot softer, you kind of give a lot less, but the nuances have to be there because you can hear everything. Whereas when you're in front of the band, there's, you know, a lot of belting and a lot of it's about energy, and you probably get away with more in many ways. But it's really interesting. You know, I've been singing for a long time and I think I can do it. And then you throw me in a different situation and it's quite different. James, you're sleepless. I'm sorry to hear that. It's nice to see you here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to normal as well, huh? Whatever the new normal may be. Anyway, I'm talking about throwing myself in the deep end and doing things I might not normally do. And I'm talking about doing a different kind of singing, even though I'm such an experienced singer in some areas. And one of those things that I decided to do is to actually sing a little song for you now. And this might seem, oh, she's a singer, that's a pretty normal thing to do. It's totally not, because I don't have my sound system here. I have no microphone, no amplification. The sound of this room is quite dead. There's no, you know, it's like people like singing in the shower because it's nice, the reverb sound that you get when your voice bounces off the walls. There's none of that here. It's a really kind of a dead room, so it's not a nice sounding room to sing it. Listen to my excuses. I'm totally making excuses. But McCoy, who was here, that I don't know personally, but I've just met through Facebook, he was here watching the live stream last week, and he asked me if I was related to Sheena Easton. And I am, and that's a story I'll get to in a minute because it's an interesting one, I think. But he said, oh, please, next time you're live, can you sing just a little bit of For Your Eyes Only? You know, the big hit that Sheena Easton had. It was the James Bond theme. And I kind of went, oh, actually sing. Which is kind of weird, right? But I just don't sing like this. And I thought, how can I say no? I can't say no if someone's asked me to sing something. And he said, just a little bit. Okay, so I just looked up the chords today and I'm just going to play some basic piano, but I'll just sing a little bit of it because he's asked me and I said I would. So McCoy, I hope you're here. Otherwise, I guess you can see the live stream later anyway. But before I get to just a few bars of For Your Eyes Only, I want to tell you the story. I mean, you probably noticed that my surname is the same and the same spelling, but I never knew that we were related until maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And it's funny because I've actually had people say to me that didn't even know my name, your voice sounds a little bit like that Sheena Easton. I'm like, And so I kind of tried to look up to see whether we were related and I couldn't find any information. And then she's my father's auntie, so I'm not sure how that works, you know, what she is to me. But I was with her. She made the best scones, right? She's not around anymore, but she was making scones in the kitchen. I was with my mum as well, and she was saying, you know, she was getting on at the time, and she said, you're a singer, aren't you, dear? Oh, yeah. And I didn't see her very often because she lived in the country. And she said, just like Cousin Sheena, and then kind of went off making the scones. And I went, hang on, Sheena? Cousin Sheena? Who's Cousin Sheena? And she said, my Cousin Sheena, you know, from the Scottish side of the family, because obviously that's where the Easton comes from. So I'm like, Sheena Easton. And my dad's auntie said, I think she was actually quite successful. And I went, yes, we're related. And she said, oh, yes. And I was blown away. And then I kind of checked with another relative and they, oh, yeah, she's and I don't even know what you call it. I don't know if it's somebody removed or whatever, but it's my father's auntie's cousin. So there you go. I'm related to Sheena Easton. Surprise, surprise. So, For Your Eyes Only, of course, is the James Bond thing that she had a lot of success with. And, John says he was so in love with Sheena in his youth. What a great singer, huh? She really, you know, a great singer. And she did that stuff with Prince. And, of course, the most famous one, My Baby Takes Them on a Train. But I think For Your Eyes Only is actually much nicer. So I'm just going to sing a little bit of it because this is really weird for me to sit here and just sing to you like this. And so I've already made all the excuses, so I won't do that anymore. And as I said, I just looked up the chords, so if I get them wrong, please forgive me. For your can see me through the night. For your eyes on me, I never need to hide. You can see so much in me, so much in me that's new. I never felt till I looked at you. For your eyes only for you. You'll see what no one else can see. Now I'm breaking free for your eyes only for you. The love I know you need in me, fantasy you freed in me, only for you, for your eyes only. Not everyone's disappeared, so that's good. Hi Joe, how are you? James, I actually tried to get in touch with Sheena and I didn't hear anything back. I pretty much said, oh, we're related through, you know, this person and this person and this person. But whether I actually even my email got to her, I don't know. So, yeah, I would love to meet her. She actually came to Sydney and I missed out on seeing her. You know, she did a gig here maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but I'll keep an eye out, and if she comes again, maybe I'll have to kind of stalk her when she gets here. Actually, if you look at photos when I have dark hair and she's in the 80s and's got that short kind of crazy hair that she had, there's a similarity in the way we look. So, oh, thank you. So I've just broken my virginity on doing a live stream. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. The song that I did for the Dave Stewart competition, I'm going to put on the end of this vlog when it comes up, because I do these vlogs, these video diaries once a week, and I always do them usually live on Facebook, but then I put them up on my YouTube page if you want to check them out later. And I often, every second week, I'll do an interview with one of the wonderful musicians I work with, and on the other weeks I'll do something musical. And, you know, as I said before, I'm doing lots of interesting for me, musical projects, and I'm really having a good time. So I hope you're all doing as well as you possibly can be, and I hope to see you soon. All the best. Bye.
I know it's hard now, baby. I see you clear. Sitting in your kitchen, feeling crazy. The world has lost its grip, and you've lost your place in it. But first, witness some plan. The world will feel like it's in such a mess when you put on your flower dress, and you will see that the sky we share is bluer than blue. I'll offer you a teacup and catch your tears. I'm with you in your kitchen talking crazy. Scribble down your doubts and I can rub them out. You in the mirror
I'll see you next week. Bye.